Hello, all you wonderful people out there. This is Spirited Senior coming to you with some more news. And this time it's good news. And we don't get a lot of good news around here, do we? Supreme Court allows broad enforcement on asylum limits. And these asylum limits were the ones that Trump tried to get through, and one of the lower courts had stopped there. I forget which court it was, but it went to the Supreme Court. This is from the Washington AP. The Supreme Court is allowing nationwide enforcement of a new Trump administration rule that prevents most Central American immigrants from seeking asylum in the United States. The justices ordered late Wednesday temporarily undoes a lower court ruling that had blocked the new asylum policy in some states along the southern border. The policy is meant to deny asylum to anyone who passes through another country on the way to U.S. without seeking protection there. That is correct. Most people crossing the southern border are Central Americans fleeing violence and poverty. They are largely ineligible under the new rule and are asylum seekers from Africa, Asia, and South America who arrive regularly at the southern border. Now, these are not people from Mexico, and they should claim asylum in Mexico or whichever country they landed in to start with. I mean, really. The shift reverses decades of U.S. policy. The administration had said that it wants to close the gap between an initial asylum screening that most people pass and a final decision on asylum that most people do not win. Big United States Supreme Court win for the border on asylum, Trump tweeted. Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I'm sorry, I don't think that woman's alive, and whoever's there in the place is pretty good. Or it's just manufactured. Holograms, people. It's possible. Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor dissented from the High Court's order. Once again, the executive branch has issued a rule that seeks to upend long-standing practices regarding refugees who seek shelter from prosecution, she said. The legal challenge to the new policy has a brief but somewhat controversial history. U.S. District Judge John Tigger in San Francisco blocked the new policy from taking effect in late July. So that's the guy. Justice John Tiger. A three-judge panel of the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals narrowed Tigger's order so that it applies only in Arizona and California states that are within the Ninth Circuit. That left the administration free to enforce the policy on asylum seekers arriving in New Mexico and Texas. He issued a new order on Monday that reimposed a nationwide hold on asylum policies. The Ninth Circuit again narrowed his order on Tuesday. They just don't give up, do they? They just keep going and going and going, you know. The High Court action allows the administration to impose the new policy everywhere while the court case against it continues. Well, they're not going to win. This is from the Supreme Court, people. Lee Gallerant, the American Civil Liberties Union lawyer who is representing immigrant advocacy groups in the case, said, "This is just a temporary step. and we're hopeful will prevail at the end of the day. The lives of thousands of families are at stake. Okay, what about the lives of thousands of families who actually live in the U.S.? What about all the ones that keep getting murdered? You think their families aren't affected by these guys? And it's proven at least 1/3 of these immigrants, whatever the hell you want to call them, they're illegal aliens, okay? These aliens, 1/3 of them are criminals, proven criminals, and they keep coming back to the country. Everyone that has killed somebody so far has been ejected from this country and has come back. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. And that's all for today. And just let me know what you think about this. This is great news, and I hope they start really cutting down on the immigration, because you can't afford it, people. Taxes are going to have to go up to support these people. Honest to God. When are people going to wake up? Thank you.